Hello, Pokemon trainers! Welcome back to another Pokemon Sword and Shield video on iStarly TV. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to instantly EV train your Pokemon in Sword and Shield. So this is kind of crazy, and it's something similar kind of happened in the previous games in Sun and Moon, where you could kind of use an exploit in the game to kind of very quickly EV train your Pokemon. So this is going to be useful if you want to get into like competitive battling post game. So I think you need to have beaten the game. I'm pretty sure you need to have beaten the game. You can try this if you haven't beaten the game yet, but it would make sense if you need to have beaten the game first. I have beaten the game, so of course I'm able to do this. I do believe you might also need a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. I'm not 100% certain about that. You can try this if you don't have a subscription, but it might require you to have one. Before I get into it, I must say this is an exploit in the game. This is something that you can do in the game. It's not a cheat, it's kind of cheating the system, but it's not like doing anything to your game that would break the game or anything like that. Basically, this is something that is able to be done within the way the game works, if that makes sense. So if you feel awkward about doing this, you do not have to do it, but if you want to do it, it's not like you're kind of like hacking the game or anything like that. This is something that is currently available to do in the game, if that makes any sense. So this is like an exploit of the game's functionality, and it's really easy to do, in fact. So I must also say that there might be some chance that they like patch this out or that they prevent this from being done at some point. So at the time of making this video, you can totally do this. It's possible that in the future they might stop this from being able to be done. I just want to get that out of the way first of all. So before you start, you're going to need obviously the Pokemon that you're going to want to EV train. I'll take a look at those in a second. You're also going to need to go to Hammerlock, which is one of the kind of middle cities in the game. Oops. So let's go to the map. I'm going to show you where Hammerlock is. So it is right here in the middle of the map. See, these are all kind of the post-game parts, or the second half of the game cities. And these are the early game cities. Hammerlock is right in the middle. And then you're going to need to go into this Pokemon Center here. This is where the BP shop is located. Now, there's a BP shop in the Battle Tower, which you can access post-game, but this particular one is what sells the items that you're going to need. And in particular, those are the power items: Power Bracer, Power Belt, Power Lens, Band, Anklet, and Weight. And what each of these do is, if you read the description there, this one says it reduces speed but allows the holder attack stat to grow more after battling. And then this one is the same for defense, this one for special attack, and so on. So you're going to need to buy the one that you need the most. I've already bought one of each, but I'm going to go ahead and buy another one of each. And what these do is they give your Pokemon more EVs or effort values when they are equipped. So I'll probably post more information about EV training in the description if you don't know what that is, but very, very quickly, EV training it stands for effort value. It's not Eevee, the cute Pokemon. And what that means is when you battle a Pokemon in the wild, it gives you certain effort values for a stat, and basically if you keep getting more effort values, then your Pokemon's stats increase. So if you want to EV train Gyarados in its attack stat, you get enough attack EVs, and then your Gyarados' attack stat will be maximized, pretty much. That's probably not the best way to explain it, but again, I'll put more information about EV training in the description. I'm going to go ahead and buy one of each of these. And there we go. I am 60 battle points poorer. These cost 10 battle points each, which is really not that much, but that means you will need to do a little bit of grinding, maybe in the Battle Tower or in online battles, in order to get enough battle points to buy these. So once you have these items, you're going to come over to the nearest Pokemon Center. So since you're already in a Pokemon Center, you just go over to the PC. But again, you can access this in any Pokemon Center. And you're going to talk to the Rotomi, and you're going to go to check Pokejobs. And I think this is unlocked post-game. I don't know exactly when this is unlocked, but at some point it will allow you to unlock these seminars. These seminars basically boost your Pokemon's EVs in whatever stat it's saying. So if you look at the bottom left, it says base points to be raised, HP, there's attack, defense, special attack, etc. So let's go to our Pokemon boxes. And you're going to choose the Pokemon that you want to EV train, whoever that is. I don't really have too many competitive Pokemon yet because I just completed my Pokedex and I just want to start. So let's go ahead and take a look. I think I have a couple Magikarps that I want to raise because Gyarados is really powerful. All right, so we've got this Magikarp here. And I'm going to give it... So you're going to give the Pokemon the power item that corresponds to whichever stat you're trying to EV train. So again, for this one, I'm going to look at it boosting its attack. So we're going to go for the Power Bracer, I believe it's called. Yes. So Power Bracer, it boosts the holder's attack stat to grow, or allows it to grow more. So we're going to give it the Power Bracer. Again, you're going to look at the description here, and whatever stat it's saying it boosts, you're going to give it to that Pokemon if you want to raise that stat in the EV training. So we're going with attack. And then I have a second one, so I'm just going to give it to my Dreepy over here, which I've already EV trained in speed. And also you can check the Pokemon's EVs by going to their summary and then going to the next page over and pressing the X button. So look there, you see that my Dreepy's speed is already maxed out. You'll know it's maxed out when you see the little sparkles around the stat. So this Dreepy, I'm also going to EV train in attack, which means I'm also going to give it the Power Bracer. And you can do this for as many Pokemon as you want. You kind of need to give them the power item to maximize the stats instantly. So after you've given the appropriate power item to the Pokemon that you want to EV train, again, I think you can do up to 10 Pokemon, but I only have 2 right now that I want to EV train. Once you've given the power item to those Pokemon, you're going to go back to the Rotomi, and you're going to go to check Pokejobs, and then once again, you're going to go to the appropriate Pokejob for the respective stat that you want to boost. In this case, obviously, that is attack, so we're going to click on that, and we're going to do take this job offer. And you're going to choose the Pokemon that you want to EV train from these boxes. So the Dreepy that I gave the Power Bracer earlier, and then finally the Magikarp that I also gave the Power Bracer. Once again, you can do up to 10 Pokemon, but I only have 2. Once you've selected all of the ones that you want, you press B, and then say, yes, you're done. And it says that your Pokemon will be sent to the job site. You click Send Pokemon. And then you're going to do whole day. That is what's going to give them the most EVs. So doing whole day plus giving them the Power Bracer item or the power item is going to maximize these. But given that this is an exploit, you do not need to wait the whole day. So now we're going to go into the wild area. So I'm now here in the wild area. You can go to any part of the wild area as long as you find a raid. So you can find the raids with the beams that are shooting out light. So there should always be one available, at least one. So find the nearest one. It really does not matter which Pokemon it is. And this part is where you actually might need the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. I don't know 100% if you absolutely do need it. You can try it without it. But if you don't have it and it doesn't work, you might need to get it or get a free trial. If you do have it, then you don't have to worry about that part of this. But what you're going to do, this is where you actually exploit it now. So let's go ahead and save the game first just to be safe. All right, so we've saved the game now. So what you're going to want to do first, and I don't think this is absolutely required, but I do think this helps if you do this. You're going to press Y. You're going to make sure you're connected to the local communication. I don't know if this is absolutely required, but I do think it maybe makes it a little easier. So once you're sure that you're connected locally, go to the raid. And again, it does not matter what Pokemon is appearing here. It does not matter what color the beam is. As long as there is a Pokemon, again, it does not matter who the Pokemon is. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go to invite others. And because you're in the local communication, it's actually not going to find anyone, I think. But right after you click invite others, you're going to press the home button. And then you're going to come down to the system settings. And you're going to scroll all the way down and go to system and then date and time. And what you're going to do is you're going to advance the date. Make sure that it says synchronize clock via internet. Make sure you turn that off. You're going to go to the date and you're going to move it forward 1 day. So of course this does require you to manipulate your game's clock. So if you are relying on daily events that allow you to do something every single day, this might mess with that. So keep that in mind if you're interested in that. Personally, I'm not really interested in a whole lot of those, so it's okay if I advance the date 1 day ahead. I don't really mind. And you're going to go back into the game, and then you're going to press B. You're going to quit. And since it didn't look for anyone, since it didn't find anyone, the game, because it was trying to connect, it saw that effectively a day had passed. And so what it did was it advanced the day forward. So we're going to go back to the nearest Pokemon Center. And we're going to check on our Pokemon that were in the Pokejob. So now we're back in the Pokemon Center, and let's see if our Pokemon are completely EV trained, which they should be. You're going to go to check Pokejobs, obviously, and there you see it. It says Attack Seminar in session, and it says it's completed. So even though we told the game that we were going to come back in 24 hours, the game has actually thought that 24 hours has passed, and therefore it has completed the training. So we're going to click on that. Our Pokemon will come back, and they should both have 252 or maximum EVs in their attack stats. Your Pokemon came back from the job. The Pokemon you sent out earned attack base points. And there you see it. They both got 252 attack EV points, which is the maximum number of EV points you can get in any given stat. So let's go back to the box, and we're going to just triple check here. I mean, it's pretty much the case. I think it moved my Magikarp. I think it places it in the nearest available space. So I'm going to find where those Pokemon went. All right, so I found them. They were placed just in some random box, so keep that in mind. It's going to put them back into the boxes, I think, in the first available slots. So make sure you have some slots open that you know where they're going. So let's check its stats. And when you press X, you'll see that my Magikarp now has maximum attack base points, or EV points. And you notice that because of the stars around the word attack. And then let's go to the Dreepy, and now my Dreepy has maximum attack and maximum speed. So that is how you instantly EV train your Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I guess it's not technically instant. It takes maybe 5 minutes once you get used to the process. But it is instant. Once you change the date, your Pokemon are instantly maximized in their stats. So again, this is an exploit. There's a chance that they might patch it out at some point, but at least for the time being, at the time of making this video, this is totally able to be done. A lot of people have been doing it. If you're worried about EV training in Pokemon Sword and Shield, this is technically the fastest way to do it if you don't mind changing your clock. I don't think there are any other consequences. If there are, I'll let you know in the comments, but I've been doing this and I haven't had any consequences on my game yet. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped you out. I might be making another EV training guide at some point once I finalize like how to, I guess, more fairly EV train your Pokemon. But again, I just wanted to put this out there since it is something that can be done and it takes very, very quickly. It saves you a lot of time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did, and please subscribe for more Pokemon Sword and Shield content. I appreciate you very much, and I'm looking forward to making more videos.